President Congress, Tam McFarlane from the Fire Brigade Union, speaking in support of Motion 1, and specifically the PCS amendment referring to climate crisis. Congress, in developing and building and protecting our future economy and the infrastructure that lies at the heart of it, we're going to have to force politicians to face up to the reality of climate change and the devastating impact it brings on the citizens and economy of the countries it affects. In the UK, around 1 million people live in over 500,000 properties, and numerous factories, power plants and other vital areas of infrastructure are currently at risk from flooding, either from the sea, from rivers or from surface water during heavy downpours. The impact that such flooding brings on people and communities and the economic additional cost to the economy does not have to be imagined, because we've already experienced it. The winter of 13-14 was the wettest in record, and the floods that struck us then were the latest in an increasing series of large-scale weather events. The impact was devastating, and it created enormous damage, danger and misery to people, communities and the infrastructure that we all rely on. The scale of the crisis ripped across the services that responded to it. In my own industry, the Fire and Rescue Service, we saw the biggest deployment since World War II, as firefighters responded to 7,000 incidents and rescued almost 2,000 people. And, working alongside colleagues from the environment industry, agency and others, we fought to save power stations, water mains and transport lines. You would have thought that, if anything was going to wake politicians up to climate change, it would have been that. But what was the response? The spending cuts planned by this government will make even worse the cuts of the previous government, who cut flood defence spending in real terms over the Parliament, who slashed vital public services that delivered flood relief and axed thousands of central and local government posts, all of whom were involved in flood management. And in terms of emergency response, it's a damning indictment and political intransigence that there are now 8,300 fewer firefighters today than there were at the time of the 2007 floods. Congress, the public rightly expects firefighters as highly trained professionals to respond to flooding. The risk is significant and likely to increase due to climate change, and the failure to manage flooding incidents, including emergency response, carries huge financial costs, impacts on productivity and affects other aspects of the economy. There are climate talks in Paris in November and December, that's already been mentioned. There are also demonstrations planned in towns and cities across the UK for Sunday the 29th of November. We as a movement must mobilise for these events. The Paris talks are perhaps the last chance for a global deal to halt dangerous climate change. And for once, we've got a progressive Labour leader who will support us in this. Please support.